on templating email responses and on-screen responses to form submissions. This is a fairly advanced tutorial, and you really don't need to do this unless you need to send an personalized email response to a particular user at a particular for a particular form. So in order to do this, we have to do a couple of things up front. The first thing we have to do is look on the form and decide the elements we need to customize. And if I want to say I want to customize the name coming out of this field, and I want to send them a response that says thank you name of the person, or thank you Tom Jones if they put that in. And I'll click edit, and here we see the information we put in here. What is important for us is this form key. We have to make a note of this form key, as I move it, because we're going to use it later. And in this form key we see name. And I'm making note of that. All of these fields have a key. I'm going to click on this one and see that there is a form key called new_radios. If I was going to send out an email that said something wanted to show these values, I would need that. But for this tutorial, we're just going to use that form key called name. So I'm going to click on the email tab. When we've designed in earlier tutorials the emails, if you need to go through that, please visit those tutorials. But I'm going to customize the response to them. This is their email receipt, as I called it in the tutorial. And I said, thank you for registering for the great conference. But I want to be a little bit more specific. And what I am going to do is I am going to use a token to do this. So in here I'm going to put a bracket, and I'm going to write the word submission, and I'm going to write the word values, and then I'm going to put the colon up after that. And what I'm going to put in here next is that token we just got, that ID we just got from that field. It was called name. And what this allows us to do is to say thank you. If their name was Tom Jones, this will then fill in that name, Tom Jones, for registering for this conference. This allows us to personalize emails, put in values in the middle of sentences or in wherever you want in the response. Now if I click save here, the thank you will say thank you Tom Jones for registering for the conference. So that's the basics of templating, is getting that field. If we go back to form components, we'll revisit it briefly here, and going and clicking on here and getting that field right here, that form key name, and whatever's after the colon here, and taking that and then going into the emails and entering the information into the emails in that format we just went through. Submission, colon, values, colon, whatever that field was, surrounded with a bracket. If you have just submission values here, it lists all the values rather than the ones specified by the form key here. So that's the basics of doing that. The one other options we have, and I'm going to click save here, is we can also use these tokens in the form response, the response a user gets on the screen. So if I was to write on the confirmation message, thank you, and I can do the same thing, bracket, form, submission, colon, values, and then I would put name. So this gives me the ability to do that same templating process that I did earlier into the form, the thank you message. For the most part, this does not need to be done. It's a very rare, as this whole process is, but this is how you would do customized templating of email responses. Thank you.